Well, welcome back, and today we're wrapping up this series on the second missionary journey of Paul the Apostle. And instead of a dramatic ending, we get something quieter and simpler, but just as powerful, because today's message is this: the journey doesn't end, it continues. Our text is Acts 18:18 to 22, and after spending significant time in Corinth, Paul begins to move on. He travels with Priscilla and Aquila, stopping in different places along the way, and eventually they arrive at Ephesus. Paul spends time there teaching and engaging, and then he makes a decision to keep moving, and he leaves Priscilla and Aquila behind to continue the work. And then he travels on, eventually returning to Antioch, where the journey had begun. And just like that, the second missionary journey comes to a close. Or does it? Because what we actually see is not an ending, but a transition. And here's the first key takeaway. Life is a series of seasons, not a single mission. Paul didn't say, stay in one place forever. He moved when it was time to move, and he stayed when it was time to stay. And he trusted that each season had purpose. We often want to clarify for the entire journey. We want to know where we're going, how long it will take, and what the outcome will be. But life doesn't work that way. Instead, it unfolds in seasons. And some are about building, and some are about moving, and some are just about releasing. And part of the growth is recognizing when one season is ending and another is beginning. And our second takeaway from today is that faith is ongoing, not a one-time decision. Paul didn't complete one journey and then stop. He didn't say that's enough. He continued, because faith isn't about reaching a final destination. It's about continuing to walk step by step. Even after success and even after challenges, there's always another step, another opportunity to grow, and another direction to follow. And that can feel both exciting and uncertain, because it means the journey is never static. But it also means it's always meaningful. And our third takeaway this morning is this: sometimes the journey involves letting go. Paul leaves Priscilla and Aquila in Ephesus. He doesn't hold on to every role of responsibility. He trusts others to continue the work. And that's not always easy, because we often feel like we have to do something ourselves. But growth includes delegation. It includes trust. It includes stepping back so others can step forward. And when that happens, the impact expands, because the mission was never meant to depend on just one person. As Paul returns to Antioch, there's an implied moment of reflection, looking back on what happened, what was learned, and what changed. And that's really important, because reflection gives meaning to the journey. It helps us to see growth we might have missed, and it prepares us for what's next. So let's bring this back to you. Where are you in your journey right now? Are you in a season of building or moving, or of letting go? And here's the question to sit with. What is your next step? Not your final destination. You don't have to figure out everything, and you don't need to have the full picture. You just need the next step, because the journey continues. So thanks for being with me, being part of this 7-day podcast. And if you followed along, take some time to reflect on what stood out to you most, and how it applies to your life right now. Because just like Paul's journey, your story is unfolding, and the next step is already awaiting.